దూర విద్యా విధానంలో డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ ఓపెన్ యూనివర్సిటీ దేశంలోనే మొట్టమొదటి సార్వత్రిక విశ్వవిద్యాలయం. దాదాపు 2.5 దశాబ్దాలుగా దూర విద్యా విధానం ద్వారా కంప్యూటర్ కోర్సును అనుసంధానం చేస్తూ బీఏ, బీకామ్, బీఎస్సీ డిగ్రీ కోర్సులను అందిస్తోంది. పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ స్థాయి, డిగ్రీ, డిప్లొమా స్థాయి కోర్సులను ఔత్సాహికులైన విద్యార్థులకు అందిస్తోంది. డెవలప్మెంట్ స్టడీస్లో సెంటర్ ఫర్ ఎకనామిక్స్ అండ్ సోషల్ స్టడీస్ ద్వారా ఎంఫిల్, పీహెచ్డీతో పాటు విశ్వవిద్యాలయమే స్వయంగా దూర విద్యా విధాన అంశంపైన పీహెచ్డీ వంటి పరిశోధన కోర్సులు ప్రవేశపెట్టింది. సుమారు 4.5 లక్షల మంది విద్యార్థులు ఈ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం నుంచి ఉన్నత విద్యావకాశాలు పొందుతున్నారు. డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ సార్వత్రిక విశ్వవిద్యాలయం స్థానికంగా స్వయం బోధనా పద్ధతిలో ముద్రణ రూపంలో రూపొందించిన కోర్స్ మెటీరియల్ అందిస్తోంది. కోర్స్ మెటీరియల్ అధ్యయనానికి సహకరించే విధంగా రేడియో, టెలివిజన్ పాఠ్యాంశాల ఆధారంగా కార్యక్రమాలు ప్రసారం చేస్తోంది. అధ్యయన కేంద్రాల ద్వారా ఏర్పాటు చేసే సలహా సంసర్గ తరగతులు, సైన్స్ ప్రాక్టికల్ సౌకర్యాలు విద్యార్థులకు స్వయం అధ్యయనానికి ఒక చక్కటి అవకాశం. ఇవి విద్యార్థి సమీపంలో ఉండే అధ్యయన కేంద్రం నుంచే పొందొచ్చు.
Hello viewers, on behalf of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University and my own behalf, I welcome you all to this live teleconferencing program of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. And friends, today we are here to discuss about marketing strategies, which is meant for MCOM previous students of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, and the same subject can be useful for the UG students, those who are pursuing marketing as a specialization, and also useful for the MBA students as well. And friends, today's topic for discussion is about marketing strategies. Before knowing the marketing strategies, let us welcome you all to this wonder and what we call exciting field of marketing, where we can know just not marketing, not only selling and advertising, but it is many more things beyond this. And here marketing strategy, when we are going to learn about marketing strategies, it is nothing but it is one of the important functions of management. And particularly marketing is one of the major functions of any business organization, and it is dealing with the customers. What is the customers and who are the customers? Managing profitable customers or customer relationships in the field of business. And therefore the marketing has twofold functions, which is number one is which attracts the customers and retaining the customers with profitable customers, or what we can say in other words is keeping them as current customers by delivering customer value and customer satisfaction. To discuss about the marketing strategies, we have two subject experts to discuss about the marketing strategies, and the present topic or the program is going like this. What are the marketing functions? What are the marketing strategies in all the fields of sectors, what we can say manufacturing, service, whatnot, everything, and what are the marketing mix elements? And then we will proceed on what are the marketing segments in marketing, one of the marketing strategy. And then STP we call segmentation, targeting and positioning, and then we will also discuss about what are the customer oriented marketing strategies and what you call company oriented or competitive oriented marketing strategies. Like this our program will be going on, and the present topic is marketing strategies, particularly meant for MCOM students of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. And we have two subject experts to discuss about the topic. Next to me is Dr. N.R.K. Reddy, a professor and director, Synergy School of Business, Secunderabad. He is having more than 25 years of teaching and research experience in the field of marketing as well as in business management. And next to him and the second resource person to this program is Dr. M. Anil Ramesh, a professor of marketing in Shivashivani Institute of Management, Kompally, Secunderabad. And both these experts will be discussing about the program which is meant for marketing strategies. And to discuss with the discussion will be taken place for the almost first 40 minutes, and then we will take up the phone calls from the viewers or also students. So we will also answer the questions pertaining to the subjects only, and the viewers are requested to ask your questions only pertaining to the present topic, not any other topic, like for example service provided by the university or so and so forth, and we are here to answer or enlighten you about the topic, that is marketing strategies. And to interact with the resource persons, particularly today's program, we have three more telephone numbers through which you have to contact us, that is 040-2703-1431, 040-2703-1432, 040-2703-1433. These are the telephone numbers you can make use, and you can interact with the program, and you can, and I hope definitely this program will helpful for particularly the marketing people, those who are not only students but also those who are in the practice side, that is marketing field. And before going to this program, particularly what we are going to cover is what is marketing, what are the functions of marketing, what are the marketing mix elements, and then how marketing segmentation can take place, and so forth. And now we will start with the program by asking Professor N.R.K. Reddy. Professor Reddy, please tell me what functions that are marketing generally perform by any business organization,
right,
and how we do apply the marketing strategies in each functions of any business, particularly marketing.
Yes, let us try to understand what marketing is all about first.
Right.
Understanding the needs and wants
Right.
of the people, and then fulfilling them profitably is marketing. Unless you do a kind of a research, understand the needs and wants of the people first, you may not be able to make products and services. Once you understand the products needed, services needed, then accordingly we manufacture and deliver the products to the consumer. This is basically marketing. And in the process, as I said, it is fulfilling the needs and wants profitably. When we say profitably, it should be profitable to the consumers by creating a value, also to the producer by creating a profit. Right. So what are the different functions that are there in marketing? And marketing functions can be broadly classified into three categories. Number one is exchange function, the second one is distribution function, the third one is the facilitation function. Under each category we have subcategories again. Under exchange function we talk about buyers and sellers, and who are our buyers, who are the sellers, and how do we build a relationship between the two and sell the products and exchange the goods. Right. And the moment we talk about exchange of goods, and it is going to create some kind of a value to the customers. Right. And that's about the exchange function. Secondly, the distribution. Manufacturing is done and we say production process is complete, but traditionally in economics also we say the production process is complete only when the product is profitably sold. And if the product is not sellable and the production process is incomplete, therefore we talk about apart from manufacturing of a product and keeping it ready for consumption, and we also take into account the storage of this, and then the distribution, reaching the product on time so that the people can consume. Then we also have transportation facility. Transportation facility creates a utility, a kind of place utility we are creating. So transportation, storage, packaging, these come under the distribution function. The third one is the facilitation. Facilitation, giving a quality product according to the expectation of the consumer, and then the right quantity, and then the product that we create should be usable and should be convenient to use. Right. That comes under facility. And then we also have, apart from this, creating marketing intelligence, and if we get very good market intelligence, accordingly we will be able to sell our products at a premium price. Therefore information and risk bearing ability is another function. These are totally called 8 marketing functions.
How do we apply in different sectors of the business?
In say manufacturing sector and then service sector, right, we can apply these functions. For example, storage function of in case of goods, storage is possible. For example, take within the goods again, a rose can be stored and also a telephone can be stored. The storage facilities are different. And services, for example, they are not storable, they are perishable. Therefore in delivering a service, these functions do change as far as the services are concerned. So service sector has got its own complex challenges, and I think in the ensuing sessions we are going to talk about in detail.
Right. Dr. Anil Ramesh, we came to know what marketing is about, understanding customer needs and wants and satisfying them profitably, right? What Reddy says is also it has different functions in different sectors, right, depending on the nature of the organization or business, whatever we call it. And now let us talk about what are the elements of marketing mix, right? We generally call 4 P's or 7 P's with regard to product and service. Correct. But how do we call them? What are the elements of marketing mix and how do we apply
Correct.
marketing strategies in all these?
As you have said in the introduction, initially for a long time people were thinking of marketing as a sales function.
Right.
People were able to produce and sell. But what happened is with the coming of the increase on the purchasing power and with the ability of the manufacturer to produce more and more, there are more products than demand. So then what happened is there was a social scientist called Jerome McCarthy who came out with a very interesting concept who said that marketing is not selling alone, and all the elements of marketing can be classified as 4 P's, and he was the first guy who gave us this 4 level concept, which was the first P being called the product, the second P which is called as a price, the third P which is called as a promotion, and the fourth P which is called as place. Lot of students do tend to get confused between the third and the fourth P. A lot of students actually try to put a promotion before place. Actually it should be place and then promotion, because what happens is the manufacturer first has to place the product in the market and then only promote it. So let us see at all these 4 P's separately. The first P is a product, which is a physical product, which is the size, the shape, the texture, the quality, the quantity, the color, the brand name, all this whatever is tangible, just like NRK Reddy sir just knows saying that a product is something very tangible. For example, a cell phone has got a texture, it has got a shape, it has got the features. So that would be the first P, that is very, very important. And the second P is the price. Price is the value that the customer will pay for the exchange. So unless the customer finds value in the exchange, he is not going to pay for it. And the third P, which is the place, is where the manufacturer puts the product into the market, which is how does he distribute it, how does he make the product reach the customer as early, as fast, as conveniently as possible. And the fourth P, which is a promotion, is nothing but the communication. How will the producer communicate to the customer that I have a wonderful product that you should buy and you should get satisfaction. And you have correctly said, with the coming of the service industry, especially India, which is a powerhouse in services, unlike China, which is a powerhouse in manufacturing, India has become a powerhouse in services. If you see the boom that India is experiencing in the last 30 years, is only because of our extraordinary ability to do service better, faster and much more cheaper than the other economies. So the 3 P's that are added are the place, the physical process, and the physical evidence and the process. And the Indians are very good at all these 3, and that is where our strength of Indian economy lies.
So thank you very much for enlightening us with the 7 P's covering service sector also. And now let us discuss about what marketing is all about, marketing strategy is all about, and how it is important in managing, particularly in physical product. Professor Reddy.
Okay, when we talk about the strategies, the moment we say strategy, we are referring to long-term connotation. So the strategy is always in the long run how we are going to do a better business than the others. So in say business language, if you define and how you field your resources, and in terms of men and material resources, etc., in a very, very optimum and judicious manner compared to the competitors better. That is basically a strategy, so as to create a kind of a sustainable competitive advantage. So strategy is basically fielding the resources in an optimum manner in order to perform better than the competitors. So the moment we talk about strategy, we are talking about the competition. So that all depends on the nature of the business that you are into and what kind of organizational competition that you see. For example, if it is a monopoly and you are only one seller, and then if it is a oligonomy, probably few sellers are there is a hectic competition, and then in the light of these competitive structures, then probably the 4 P's are basically the 4 weapons that are there in the hands of the marketer, and which instrument to be used when and where all depends on the competitive environment. So in the competitive environment, for example, the product, And if it is the product, it's a monopoly and you don't need to differentiate the products. For example, electricity department and our RTC services and all that, more or less there is no need for differentiation earlier. Now the competition has come, therefore we have CAT card, we have other cards, and differentiation has come. So one is a product. Do we deliver the same product as it is, or do we modify and customize the products and deliver to the consumer? That all depends on the need, right? Depend on the competition. The second piece that we talk about is the price. So price is a very predominant variable. See, overpricing is a problem and underpricing is also a problem. Overpricing means, and probably companies may anticipate more benefits, but unfortunately people don't buy. And if it is underpriced, everybody will buy, but unfortunately companies may not be able to survive because you will not be able to make margins. So appropriate pricing is very important. So the proper pricing decisions are very, very critical when it is an international market, and it is more complex because the dollar and exchange values and then the determinants of the currency of other countries and all that also will determine the pricing issues. Therefore, pricing is another important issue in a strategy. So product strategy, pricing strategy. Next comes our promotional strategy. Promotional strategy, what kind of a promotion suits? For example, if it is an agricultural related product, something like a fertilizer to advertise, probably media may be the convenient, and probably the timing is again very important.
Also important.
So if it is an educational program, probably the print media can be very suitable. But it is also discovered recently, many of the educated students, especially at the master's level and bachelor's level, don't read newspapers. Therefore, they are going through the electronic media most of the time. Therefore, many advertisements you see, and the radio is again gaining momentum, and this kind of the change. What kind of a media is suitable? What kind of promotional strategies work? That again depends on the market survey that you conduct, and unless you do market research, you will not be able to fix up anything. So the next, the last one is basically about the place and the distribution. What kind of a distribution channel suits? Are you going to hire the distribution channel of somebody, or are you going to have your own distribution channel? And what is the nature of the product? What intensive distribution system that you would like to have? And all these distribution decisions. So place decisions and promotion decisions, product decisions and price decisions. These are all the strategies put together will become a strategy as a whole.
So we can
I
call
just
it
wanted to add a couple of points to what Professor NRK said very wonderfully. I just want to say about the promotion angle, like NRK sir has been correctly saying, the traditional promotional channels are slowly losing their attractiveness, and lot of new channels are emerging. One of the new channels, like sir was saying, is the students. I was very much attracted to what he said about how they are getting attracted to digital formats. For example, even in our institute also, we have been trying a lot of social media. It is a very easy way and a very attractive way to get connected to the present generation, which is very mobile oriented, very laptop oriented, very tablet oriented, and traditional medias tend to be seen as very boring. And even if you come to the last P, like sir was saying, distribution, lot of new types of distribution are emerging. For example, in the recent past you have seen pyramid distribution or network distribution, and now the latest, which Dr. Power you are aware, is e-commerce, which is really coming up like anything. It has come up to such an extent that traditional channels have started to fear these channels and saying that these channels have now started to hit their profitability. So I think very dynamic field, like you said, and the students should be very on their toes to catch up in this marketplace.
In the process, retailers are becoming e-tailers.
Retailers
are becoming e-tailers.
Then we can we summarize marketing strategy as a comprehensive plan?
Yes, it's a overall comprehensive
plan.
Dynamic, and the marketer needs to be very agile, because things happen very fast.
So Dr. Anil Ramesh, so how do we proceed with marketing strategy in each phase of PLC, product life cycle?
Product life cycle, Dr. Anand Power, like you are very aware, is a very interesting concept that marketing brought about, which says that a product has got a life just like a human being. Just like a human being is born, the product is also born. And then in fact, human being, we call it birth. For a product, we call it introduction. And then the product goes through growth phase, and then it goes to the maturity, and then it goes to a decline, and then goes to maybe the product is abandoned or maybe shelved or taken off from the marketplace. Like you've interestingly said, the strategies at each level are very different. For example, at the introductory level, the companies are very aggressive in promoting it because they need to promote it. and then they do a lot of advertising and sales promotion. As the product starts to become mature, there is more of reminder advertising that is done. The biggest challenge that comes, Dr. Pawar, is when the maturity, the company knows that we are reaching maturity, and then they have to see that the product does not go into the decline. Here what the companies do is they go for a dual prong strategy, which is either increase the usage or increase the users, or do both. For example, let us take the case of a toothpaste. Let us take the toothpaste wants to increase the usage. For example, earlier when you and me and Dr. Reddy were children, we were told that you have to take brush the teeth twice in a day. Then they started saying that you have to brush 3 times a day. And if you see the latest advertisement, they started to say that whenever you have solid food, you should brush, which is more usage. Then you can have more users also. For example, if you take Indian population, 50% of Indian population is rural areas. Most of them are either using tooth powder or some other indigenous technology, neem sticks, thank you very much, sir. Neem sticks to brush the teeth. If they can be converted, just imagine we are a 1 billion population. And the second thing is, which some of the American toothpaste manufacturers have tried, is why not we introduce a toothpaste for our pets also. So a lot of innovations are done at the maturity stage, and if you see most of our products, including toothpaste or cars or mobiles or televisions, have reached maturity. The challenge is how to extend maturity, and that's the whole challenge for the marketers. Is the more they extend the maturity, the better it is for them.
Just to add a point to Dr. Ramesh, what he was saying, and this also happens in a television consumption facility now. For example, earlier we used to have a common television. Now we have television for every room. So the privacies, and then the child care, and probably the children are not expected to see certain kind of channels. Therefore, we got a locking system, and new facilities are coming up, and then we are extensively using. And this is also one of the ways to increase the consumption.
So, Professor Reddy, can you say that every PLC stage we need to change marketing strategy?
Yes, obviously, depending on the product in which part of the PLC it is there, and accordingly we have to change our marketing strategy. Marketing strategy itself is a dynamic. So when we say it's a dynamic, it has to change according to the need.
Then what is pricing strategy and how it is different from pricing policies?
Okay. Pricing policies, basically we talk about objectives of pricing. Basically, why do we go with a particular policy? Is it to get the maximum market share or higher profitability? What is the objective behind your pricing? For example, sometimes it so happens the companies like Coca-Cola, initially they want to capture the market, they penetrate into the market, therefore they go with the very low pricing, that's penetration pricing. So when they go with the penetration, and they look at the maximum market share, and maybe over a period of time, once they capture the market, then they go for escalation of the price, and that's how the pricing. So objectives, and based on a cost, say for example administered pricing, and administered pricing in a particularly government sector, it is a pricing system whereby the ruling is done by a particular organization that this is going to be the price. For example, fertilizer industry is under the administered pricing. The very objective is to ensure that the product is available to everybody, to ensure the farmers get the fertilizer on time at a lower price, therefore they create subsidy. Therefore the market forces like demand and supply will not determine the price, and there is a control. So that's a kind of a pricing system. So when the market policies, the pricing policies, basically we talk about the purpose for which we are pricing, and then the pricing strategies are different again. So pricing strategies, sometimes we go with such a low pricing and to create kind of a havoc in the market, and bring in a revolutionary change, therefore the competitors die, and then I will remain in the competition, and maybe in the long run I squeeze the blood of the consumer. This is a kind of approach also. So for example, if you look at China, in international markets, they go for sporadic kind of dumping kind of a system. They charge very low price in the international market to eliminate the competitors first, then they capture the market over a period of time. They raise the price.
Okay.
Very interesting what NRK Reddy has been saying. Sir has been discussing about predatory pricing and then dumping price. Lot of new strategies are emerging. Like just like Sir has been saying, even pricing, lot of companies are looking at as one variable. Like Sir has very correctly been saying as how do I strategize it in a way so that I can score better over others. For example, I was just reading yesterday, there is something called as cloud pricing now. Cloud pricing is I have a project, I don't have money. So I go on the internet and put my entire project on the internet and say that I am a guy, I want to have, let us take $1 million. All the people are interested can read my proposal, can become a part of my company, and then they can buy equity, and then they can go ahead and invest in my company. So that's a very interesting concept. So a lot of new things are emerging. Like Sir has been saying, no strategy is very static, it is very dynamic, and it has to keep on changing depending on what the marketplace is demanding.
The three fundamentals that we take into consideration in fixing the prices, one is the cost, the other one is the demand. So when we talk about the triangle, there are three components. One is the cost, other one is the demand, other one is the competition that is prevailing. If it is all the three are taken into account, and accordingly we create
then what are the can you explain, Dr. Ramesh, what are the different types of channels of distribution?
Okay, whenever we talk about channels of distribution, which is the third P, which is distribution, or the place is the convenience that a customer gets by which the product is available at a place, at a time, at a form, and at a cost that is convenient, and a form also. So for example, if I go to a manufacturer, the manufacturer might say that you buy 1 kg of a detergent, but when I go to the retailer, I can buy 50 grams or 100 grams or whatever. So distribution provides a last mile coverage, which means you can reach a customer at a place that is very, very convenient. So whenever we talk about distribution, there are a couple of strategies, which is direct distribution or indirect distribution. Obviously, the manufacturer gets higher percentage of profit on direct distribution, but the coverage is very limited. So it is a sacrifice between coverage versus profit. When a manufacturer goes for indirect distribution, he can get lot of coverage, but he has to sacrifice some of the profit. Again, in indirect distribution, we got three modes, which is mass distribution. For example, whenever the product is cheap, for example, it's costing 5 rupees biscuits or 10 rupees of a Coke that Sir was saying. Anything that is an impulse product, you have to make the product available at a very convenient place, which is your neighborhood store or a retailer or a kirana shop. So whenever a product is distributed at mass level, Kashmir to Kanyakumari to Gujarat to Assam, we call it mass distribution, and FMCG companies are very good at it. And then we have selective distribution, where let us take something like a car dealership or a motorcycle dealership. We will not distribute it as extensively as FMCG, but we will be distributing it at maybe at the district headquarters or at the mandal headquarters. Then we have this exclusive distribution, where the product is very, very costly. Something like a very famous branded motorcycle. The motorcycle cost could be around 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Obviously, we are not going to distribute it either at a mass level or at a selective level. We will do it at an exclusive level, maybe only the 4 metros. Apart from this, as we have been discussing, now a lot of e-commerce has also emerged as a direct distribution level, which is something which is really catching up, and like Sir has been saying, this has created a flutter in the marketplace, because it is seen as a competition to the brick and mortar business that is really suffering, because the e-commerce sites are able to offer a product at a cost at which the brick and mortar is not able to offer, and this is creating a sort of a clash between brick and mortar and e-commerce.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. Ramesh. And now, can you please explain about the promotional strategies, what we call?
Promotion has become a very predominant variable in total
generally people
marketing
think
functions.
marketing is promotion. People think only selling or whatever.
Yes, there is a difference between selling and marketing. And the first of all, what is the need for this kind of marketing promotion? Basically, when we talk about the supply side economics earlier, the supply was guaranteed, therefore, and people is to come and buy. Now the supply is available, therefore, and the major problem is the demand side economics. So demand side is basically creating effective demand for a product is very important. So when we say the very objective of basically promotion is to create a kind of awareness, that's the first objective of any advertising. The second one is after creating awareness, but still you need to ensure that the consumers like your product. So when compared to the competitors, therefore it is a manipulative function. That means my product is superior and better than the competing products, therefore you can buy. So that is the second objective with which we advertise. So in promotional mix, we talk about advertising, we talk about personal selling, publicity, public relations, and sales promotion activities. So these are the, basically we call it the promotional mix traditionally, and these are taking a lot of change. For example, Flipkart has changed the entire phenomenon in distribution. I think Dr. Ramesh was talking about very interesting things in a distribution channel, and we are talking about in the distribution zero level distribution today. We don't want any mediator between the producer and the consumer, and because as long as you have more and more mediators in between, and then naturally they take their due share in the profit. Therefore the companies are finding it very difficult to manage the channel, therefore they always go for zero level distribution channels. And in the process, the retailers are becoming very critical, and many of the companies are trying to exit from the retailers and directly going with the consumers.
Most of the companies going for direct marketing,
avoiding
all these intermediaries.
Exactly. And Dell is one very successful, and because of the internet and the changes that have happened in technology, that has created more facility for them, and they have very successfully. And it may not be possible for all the products to go like that, but there are many such products you can buy. For example, eBay today, they say their basic positioning is basically what they talk about is the everyday low prices. So they are buying in a bigger quantities, and then they can offer at a very low price. Therefore, the Walmart and eBay, they are doing excellent business in online. So brick and mortar, and that has come into.
Thank you, Doctor. So far we discussed about 4 P's of marketing, right? And then we will go by asking Dr. Reddy, what is market segmentation?
Okay.
Right? And then what are the suitable strategies for making markets segmentation more effective?
Okay, what is segmentation, Power sir? First let me say what is mass marketing.
Right.
As far as possible, any marketer does not want to give market share to anybody.
Right.
So if he is given a chance, marketer wants to capture the entire marketplace. But right now what has happened is customers have become very finicky. Right. They become very choosy. All customers don't want to buy the same product. So now there is a new concept which is called segmentation, which is the division of the market into smaller subparts, and each of the subparts is homogeneous. It has similar type of people, their demands are similar, their needs are similar, and most attractively, they also respond to a similar fashion for the marketing stimuli. So segmentation is a division of marketplace into smaller homogeneous parts, and this segmentation can be achieved through demographics, which is a description of a customer. For example, you can segment the marketplace dividing on age, or gender, or an occupation. For example, we can have a different type of, let us take
working, non-working,
not working, business, caste, creed, religion, so many things. Then you can have behavioral segmentation, where for example, I might feel that I am a very dynamic person, so I might be driving a different type of bike to NRK sir and you. So my type of bike will differ. And then we have geographic segmentation, where you segment the product dividing on the geography. For example, the type of products that are available in Delhi might not be similar to the products that are available in Hyderabad, and to maybe to Chennai or to Bangalore. And then we have even benefit based segmentation, which is people who use the product more to people who use the product less, which is heavy to less heavy. And then we also have behavioral segmentation, like what do people feel about the products. So segmentation is a process of making as much profit as possible, and with as minimum resources that are available with the manufacturer.
So to summarize, the market segmentation is nothing but a marketer cannot serve the whole market.
And he will try to
he has to focus
to
a particular group of customers and then proceed.
Which is the most profitable one.
I think there is a lot of criticism on the very process of segmentation. I think segmentation itself is losing the opportunity by dividing the markets. So Bliss is one American marketing scientist that he talks about segmentation means you are dividing the markets and unnecessarily you are losing a part of the market. Therefore, segmentation itself is a wrong phenomenon. That's what he says. So
correct, sir. Correct. I think NRK Reddy sir has put my exact point. No marketer actually wants to segment. It is a decision that is forced on him. For example, if you take in the 70s
the
and
concept of strategy is making
exactly, it's a strategic issue.
To understand probably the similarities in the markets and then a homogeneous
Exactly.
kind of a market you can identify.
It's a market demand. For example, if you take Bajaj, they never did segmentation till the market forced them. The market force saying that the utilitarian scooter that you have is not being accepted by all segments of the market, and somebody came with an automatic, somebody came with a scooter for the women, and that's how the entire segmentation process started.
I think all this comes because of the competition. When more number of players come in, and when you are not able to compete, and then probably go to a corner and say this is my market.
Exactly.
Where I stand.
You try to play safe.
Yes.
Then after knowing the what exactly marketing about segmentation, then Professor Reddy, what is targeting and what is positioning and how it is different from each other?
Okay, this is called basically the STP analysis, and then in the STP analysis we talk about segmentation. So we disintegrate the markets and divide them into smaller parts, and then see where we fit in, where is our relevance. And then all markets you cannot serve, therefore these are the markets that are relevant to me, therefore I serve these markets. That is one is basically called segmentation. Then once you decide that this is the market where I am going to serve, basically called it targeting. And that is basically we are talking about your target customers. Once you target your customers, what is that offer you are going to give to the consumers? And basically we are talking about it's a positioning. Positioning is nothing but a war for consumers' mind. And you are waging a war with the competitors in order to place your product in the mind of the consumer. It can be a single positioning, it can be dual positioning, and it can be wrong positioning, it can be right positioning, and sometimes it can be repositioning.
Can you give us one or two examples for this?
For example, look at the car manufacturers, basically the automobile industry. For example, the America was very predominant in automobile industry to begin with. And then the three bigger companies like Ford, General Motors, and then Chrysler. These are the three major players that are playing in American market. And then when Toyota has come into the market from Japan, and similarly, few other cars like Volkswagen from say Germany. These two cars have created a small niche market. This is, sometimes it so happens as a part of the marketing strategy, niche itself is an entry strategy. And then they come and then they become bigger. As you throw a small fish into the waters, maybe over a period of time it becomes bigger. So similarly, the Toyota has become bigger, Volkswagen has become bigger, but the entry was very small as niche market. Similarly, the kind of Volvo buses that we are using, they didn't enter into the bus market basically, they entered into a car manufacturers. So a small car, and then they become bigger, and then over a period of time if you see the American automobile industry is in trouble because of these two bigger entries, and they have captured a
maybe I'll just give you one or two examples of positioning, sir. According to Aldrich and Jack Trout, like sir has been saying, positioning is the space occupied by the product in the minds of the customers. For example, when queried about safest car, most people will say Volvo.
Correct.
When they talk about the most stylish phone, they'll say iPhone. So it is a very powerful position that is occupied here. And for example, whenever my daughter says chocolate, I say Cadbury. So that's a power. So like sir has been
what
saying,
is the reason for going for impulse buying? What is the role of
that is where the positioning comes in. Positioning is that heavy sumo wrestler who's sitting in the mind and keeps on saying, for example, my wife says detergent, I go and say surf. That's the power. There are 20 other.
There are many customers without having any plan or requirement.
Exactly.
Still going and buying.
That is exactly the thing that Aldrich and Jack Trout say, that it is not the space that is occupied physically. It is a space that is occupied.
How come we have to treat it as it is strategy?
It is definitely, it is a strategy, sir. And that is why most of the advertising is reminder advertising. You are blackmailed into seeing the same advertisements so many times. For example, when you go, you will blurt out the brand name without even thinking.
That's where we talk about mind share and heart share. And whatever you listen more number of times, that is there in your brain, so that comes out.
Dr. Ramesh, is branding itself strategy?
Yes, sir.
Then what are the brand management strategies are available for the marketeers?
Branding is a
and how to reach out the
branding is a differentiator. For example, if you take there's so many products where the product is, let us take, is a generic product, we usually don't brand it, but where the products are highly differentiated. For example, if you take the cell phone market, they are highly differentiated from each other. Branding is a strategy whereby which the company is saying that my product is different from your product, and there are a lot of advantages, Anand Pawar, power for both the manufacturer and for the customer.
Right.
For the manufacturer, it means that whatever promotional expenditure that he is putting into his marketing plan
Right.
will give him better results, because the same brand name can be used for many different product categories. For example, if you take the case of Tatas,
Right.
they have the same brand name for different product categories.
Right.
So, and for the customer also, brands have lot of assurance. For example, you must have seen lot of times we ourselves will say we will go only for a particular brand, because the brand says safety, the brand says assurance, the brand says quality, and more or less the brand also gives me a lot of mental comfort also. So, branding is a powerful tool, and most companies go for very severe branding, and the brands have lot of benefits for both the manufacturers
Dr.
and
Reddy,
for the customers.
Dr. Reddy, how do we use marketing strategy in case of service products?
Okay. You see, the services are basically you need to understand the characteristics of the services first. They
Before
are
taking
basically-
this,
yeah.
we will take a phone call,
Oh,
please.
sure, sure.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Sir, why airline depends upon agents by paying huge commission?
Okay, sorry?
Come
Once
again,
again?
Why airline organizations
Okay.
depends upon agents?
Agents.
Agents to
Okay.
purchase of selling tickets with the passengers
Okay.
by paying a huge commission.
Okay.
Instead, they can directly sell to the passengers
Okay.
and then give concession to the customers itself, passengers.
You are right. So,
Sir,
what exactly you want? Why agents are there, are involved in
Okay.
between the company and are the customers?
No,
Right.
I think if I understand his
Okay.
question correctly,
Okay.
he is saying that why agents, middlemen are required
yes.
in selling the air tickets,
Right.
why can't they sell directly?
Directly.
I think if you look at the number of passengers traveling in air are very less in terms of percentage,
Right.
and then reaching them is very difficult, and if they have their own direct marketing, and then it is more expensive than having agents. So agents are less cheaper, therefore it all economics basically. The viability is a factor, that's why they have more agents
to
rather
answer
than
the
having
agent-
their
I would also like to
Right,
add
yeah.
on, sir. In
Okay.
fact, the student maybe needs to be told that the agents in airline industry are almost like dinosaurs. For example, there is a site called kayak.com where you can search for the cheapest available fares throughout the world. I think his question is relevant where there is lot of non-internet connectivity. That's where agents are still there. But where there is a lot of internet connectivity, for example, all three of us, I don't think we go to
I
an
think
agent.
he may be relating to this way also. So, though it is we are in the internet era or technology digitalization era, why still people have to depend on agents?
That is what, sir. That is what
when
I'm
they
saying.
don't have access to
Access
this
to internet
probably.
and-
the future may answer this question.
Exactly.
Right.
Where there is
Because
access,
the role of agents may disappear also.
Yeah, it is.
it is
it's
disappeared
happening now.
almost.
It is
It
happening,
is
right.
almost disappeared.
Okay, right. Then how do we use marketing strategies, right, in customer driven context? That is what we can say customer driven marketing strategy.
Yeah, I think we have stopped in between about the
Yeah,
service
service
products.
product,
Yeah,
right.
The service products, when we talk about, see, there is nothing like a product which doesn't have an association with service. So
Right.
products will also have a service. For example, when you sell a product, the way we go and then installation of the product is a part of the service.
Right.
Then after that, customer service that we render,
Okay.
and then the frequent visits that we make, and then ensure that the product is working and all that is a part of the service. So products will have a service, and services also will have a product. For example,
Right.
if somebody registers for a master's degree with Ambedkar Open University, he gets a certificate finally.
Right.
That's a product.
Product.
And then is it more of a product or more of a service? Depends on the tangibility. Then they have certain characteristics like inseparability, perishability, heterogeneity. If I deliver lecture today, probably the lecture may be different when I deliver it tomorrow. So therefore, the teaching is a more of a service, and then product mobile is a more of a product. So services and products both are there, but there is a lot of linkage between products will have services, and services also will have a product. So in the light of this, the services have more complexity than the products, and then the marketing mix for services is going to be a little different, and then it's going to be more challenging and dynamic.
Okay, then what is the competitive oriented customer driven marketing strategy? Because so far we might have discussed about only company oriented marketing strategies.
Yeah.
All STP and 4Ps. Right?
Sir,
Then what is what you call customer driven marketing strategy?
what is customer driven marketing strategy, sir? Till lot of time, most of the companies were like ostrich in the sand. They were saying that we will make a product, and that product is easily what is saleable in the marketplace. You want to take a question?
Yeah, before taking discussion, we will have a phone call. Yes? Yes? Please?
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Would you connect me to the professor, sir?
Yes? I am getting you.
Sir, I am Vijay from Vijayawada.
Okay.
पवार सर, मैं एक बात बोलना चाहता हूँ.
बोलिए.
अभी इसरो है ना सर, हमारा इसरो है. We have इसरो, Indian Space Research Organization.
Okay.
They are marketing it to the foreign people, foreign organizations.
Okay.
Lot of foreign exchange we are getting it.
Okay.
Right.
And there is an opinion of the defense people that if you market it to the defense, Indian defense forces,
Okay.
it will be more useful and there will be more productive, sir.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay. So,
I will
Professor.
convey this opinion to you.
Okay. So, I will also ask Professor Reddy how we can apply marketing strategies for defense. What he meant to say. Do we agree or how it is far away from other existing strategies?
Right. There are two issues. One is when we make a defense products
Right.
for a personal, the internal consumption within the country,
Right.
or do we do this for the, for other countries also?
Right.
So when your products are acceptable and saleable, I think you can produce more in quantity and export other countries. For example, America. For them, the defense sector and the ammunition and the kind of a jet fighters they sell, it's a big business for them. Okay. For example, Singapore today, the Singapore army trains the American army, and Singapore gets a lot of foreign exchange because of that. When you got an excess or a separate quality, a better quality, and some innovation there, and I think there is nothing wrong.
For more clarification for the student or the audience who asked us question. I think he might be worried about why defense sectors are not promoting their product or marketing.
I'll tell you what is the problem that Indian defense sector has been facing, sir. We have been more, in fact, we are demanding more products. For example, we have never been in excess supply. It is demand and supply. When we ourselves are buying from outside, I don't think that point has come till today. For example, today, the SARAS, the new light combat aircraft vehicle, has been commissioned.
And
maybe in the future, maybe in the future, sir, maybe this aircraft could be sold to other countries.
Right. And in fact, strategy as a word, we all of us know, came from only defense.
Defense, yes, exactly.
And
Operation management.
He is worried about why marketing strategies are not applied in case of defense products.
Very right.
Correct.
Very right. Now that you see the technology is increasing, and India's position in the world.
Dr. Reddy will, before continue, we will take another call. Yes, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I am Ganesh from Vijayawada, sir.
So, okay.
Sir, my question is regarding network marketing, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
Network
in the
marketing.
scenario, there is a more negativity on network marketing, sir.
Yes.
I want clarity on that, sir. Is that legal or is that positive or not?
Certainly.
I will.
Right. Yeah. So, before taking this question, Professor Reddy is continuing about earlier thing, right?
Yeah.
So, what exactly we are talking about customer-driven marketing strategies?
Customer-driven,
strategy in case of marketing strategy in case of defense.
Yeah. So all marketing functions evolve around the customer basically. So earlier we used to say Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Now we got to say Customero Bhava. So customer is the king. And customer is emerging as a sovereign in the light of the competition. Therefore, all our marketing efforts should revolve around the customer needs and the customer welfare. Yes, customer centric.
So, Dr. Ramesh, can you answer that question? Network marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the effects or whatever advantages?
I would tell the viewer that caveat emptor, buyer beware.
Okay.
I would not go into legality of issue. For example, any person who is becoming a buyer or a seller or a reseller in the network marketing should take any activity at his own peril or his own advantage. I would not say it's legal or illegal. It is up to them. But the whole thing is the Indian government is coming down very heavily on it because they are saying there is money laundering going on behind network marketing where they are not selling any products, they are only in the process of recruiting the agents. I think everybody should get into this with their own consciousness and
the same thing is being told by accounting forensic people. Accounting forensic or forensic accounting.
Forensic accounting, yes.
Right, that's what
so
happening.
I think caveat emptor, buyer beware, let him get into it, taking all the precautions.
Okay. So what marketeers need to do in case of network marketing, that's what the caller intended to know.
Network marketing is a very completely new thing that has come in, sir, in the last 10 or 15 years. There is lot of hype and lot of publicity about it.
The
where
intention of network marketing is different, but
Exactly.
the shape taking is
exactly is different.
different.
The
That's what worried about.
Exactly. They
that
network marketers maybe want to reach more customers,
Right.
but the shape it is coming up, like you correctly said,
Right.
maybe is very unfortunate.
I think what we need to understand is whatever is the marketing activity that we indulge in, it should be legally acceptable,
Acceptable.
and we should respect
Right.
the law of the nation.
Exactly.
That's the first thing, and as long as it goes within the legal framework, and absolutely there is no worry.
Absolutely.
Within which
Which all of us fit into.
Yeah, fit
Yes.
into, right. Then what is competitive oriented marketing strategy? Yeah. Hello, one more call we will take up.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, good afternoon. I'm
Good-
Shivakumar from Chennai.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Very nice program. Luckily, I happens to see today.
Thank you
sir.
and good
Thank you very
afternoon.
much.
And you are giving so many information about defense and strategies. I want to know about what parameters you want to fix for this pharma marketing.
Pharma marketing. Okay.
Okay.
The strategies and their brand management is entirely different.
Right.
And the customer orientation presentation is also different.
Okay.
Here, what way you want to position the words like marketing strategy and the building of the organization
Okay.
or customer focused,
Okay.
Okay.
the details.
Definitely we are here to give you answer. Dr. Reddy, that is what he want to say. This is nothing but combination. What I understand, this is both combination of customer and company oriented marketing strategy.
Exactly. Whatever you wanted to ask, he's asking.
Yes. So that's what in fact I want to ask.
Yes, actually
Right.
the pharma sector has its own, different dynamics.
Right.
The pharmaceutical industry, if you look at who are the consumers of the pharmaceutical? Patients.
Right.
The drugs are consumed by the patients.
Right.
But drugs are not, decided by the consumers.
Consumers.
And basically the success of a pharmaceutical industry depends on the prescribers. Who are the people prescribe? Doctors.
Right.
So the doctors are going to decide,
Right.
and then the role of a consumer is almost zero.
So we can say it is not a customer oriented marketing strategy.
It is in a very indirect way.
yes.
In
right?
fact, it is
It
called
only company oriented marketing strategy.
Actually, the customers are doctors.
Doctors.
Therefore, any promotional activity or any marketing activity that you deal with, it has to be done.
Exactly.
with
Sorry, we will take
keeping in
another
with
call.
the
Hello?
doctors.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yes.
Sir, I am working in one of pharma company in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Yeah, what is my query is, just told, sir, just my query is, can you explain the exactly differentiation between strategy and
Sorry, strategy and
strategies and services in pharma market or any market?
okay. We already discussed, but we
Both are
will.
related to customer and consumer only.
Okay.
Just I need what is the difference between major difference between strategy and services?
Yeah, true. Of course, we have already discussed, but again, what he meant to ask, I think it is very clear. So, services marketing strategy.
Okay, how do we go about with the services?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I think let me take that question. What
Okay.
he is trying to say is, how is the strategy different in services?
Different in
I think
service.
definitely, I think it's a very wonderful question. Even in the pharma sector, Dr. N.R.K. Reddy has been very rightly and very beautifully putting it, where the doctor becomes
Right.
the custodian of the ultimate customer's
Customers,
rights.
yes.
That's where the services become very, very critical. For example, all of us travel by air,
Right.
and their strategy always has been customer satisfaction. But that customer satisfaction comes at a price. For example, I might fly 99 times with the Indigo, but the one time when it does not come in time,
Right.
we become very angry and flustered.
We grumble,
I think the services strategies have to be much in tune with what sir was saying, where customer is a king,
Right.
and customer has to be pleased at all levels, and that's
And
what
Dr.
makes.
Anil Ramesh, time is short of running, right? Then what are the challenges thrown up by the digitalization of marketing orientation?
Okay,
Right? Or function?
Maybe I'll take it very fast, sir. The,
Right.
the challenges thrown by digital marketing in a
Right.
very pure ways. In the traditional marketing, I release an advertisement,
Right.
and what is the response to the advertisement, I never know. Whether
That's
the
what
people.
I wanted to ask you here is, how these challenges are going to be converted into opportunities.
Right now, there are more challenges
Right.
in the sense that in
Yeah.
digital marketing,
Right.
if I do something, if the customer does not like it, the feedback is immediate and very vehement.
Okay.
That is where the traditional marketers need to understand
Right.
that this new technology is very attractive,
Right.
but should be handled with lot of care.
Right. So we can say that though it is now looked as challenges, but it will
There
be
are a lot of opportunities also.
So marketers need to understand
Definitely great opportunities.
this. Thank you. One more call we will receive. Okay. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Please.
What type of marketing strategies?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. We are getting. I am hearing you.
My name is Madhi, sir.
Okay.
I am preparing for banking exam, sir.
Okay.
Marketing subject. What type of marketing strategies used in banking terminology, sir?
Okay. Definitely, Madhavi. Thank you very much. And for this question, Professor Reddy.
What is the question?
Banking strategies. So
banking
marketing strategies in case of banking services.
Okay, even I did not
So
get
in banking sector,
Right.
see what is that we do in banking? Basically, we render a service. We are the custodians of
Right.
their money, and then we give them the loans and all that. So basically, the services. See, all the services that you render should be clearly understood by the people. So people will have some expectations
Right.
and certain perceptions about the banking service. For example, if it is a private bank, they are good and friendly. But it is a nationalized bank, they have more number of customers, probably they may not be able to do the similar kind of a service. Therefore, some of the people prefer private banks and some people prefer nationalized banks. National banks, you have a lot of security.
Right.
So basically, when we talk about a service, every customer has got certain expectation, and they have certain perceptions about the service delivered by the service industry. Therefore, the Sarukal model by Parashuraman has given what are the gaps, how do we fill those gaps, the gap between expectation and the delivery. And when we are able to build those, and this is possible only through market research, and understand the expectations of the customer and fill the gaps, and then probably the service sector is going to be wonderfully growing.
Dr. Ramesh, do you have any new strategies for banking, particularly with reference to banking services?
Yeah, lot of things are happening, sir, in the banking sector. Two things I'll quickly say.
Right.
One is financial inclusiveness, where what the government of India is saying, every citizen of India should at least have one bank account.
Right.
So Madhavi should take that in care. There are a lot of potential.
Right.
And the second thing is transparency. For example, whenever I do any activity in banking, if there is more transparency, I think more customers will come to the banking
Then
sector.
what is the effect of social media? Right, and people, most of them are taking as what you call marketing, promoting themselves, right? How we can relate it as a, in case of marketing strategies by taking any sector as an example?
Yeah, I think the technology is changing. So, for example, email has come in, and then the postcard has gone.
Right.
And you see, when the new technology comes, the existing products become obsolete, and the new products come in.
True.
And similarly, Twitter, Facebook,
Right.
and then LinkedIn kind of sites, social media is a major media to reach the customers. Basically, the teens they are available on network. So therefore, you can catch them. One more advantage with this is, see, whenever they come online, and then the kind of a products that they are surfing, and what kind of products they are buying, what kind of products they are not buying, and all that data is accumulated. So when you have that data mining concept, and then when you are able to retrieve that kind of a data and see the metrics, and then see these are the products that they are inquiring but they are not buying, then you identify why they are not buying.
And
So
most of the politicians
kind
also,
of,
particularly in the democratic system,
business analytics are becoming
very true,
important.
sir.
even political people are also making use as social media as a marketing strategy.
In fact, it's a case study. Narendra Modi, sir, our Prime Minister, has used social media so much, and the most
Extensively.
attractive thing of social media is, sir, it is very engaging, it's very user friendly and interactive.
So
in the traditional media,
people knowingly or unknowingly, they are using marketing strategies.
Exactly.
In all the areas or in all the sectors.
Exactly, including politics.
Including politics.
One danger is we have to be alert as far as the Facebook and Twitter when we are using, because we are in a see-through kind of a glass, and everybody is watching.
It is a
us.
wall.
We
You are
should be-
writing on the wall.
Yes.
So due to time constraint, we are not able to continue the discussion, and now I thank both the resource persons who came all the way. And I certainly believe that our students might have benefited a lot, right? And in this session, what we have discussed is what marketing functions are, and then what marketing elements that are involved in the marketing strategy. 4 P's we call, and also in case of services, it is all about 7 P's: people, process, and physical evidence. And then marketing strategies also included STP, that is segmentation, targeting, and also positioning. And more probably we also discussed about beyond the box, that is called customer driven marketing strategies, and branding. Nowadays people are talking about brand and branding, and it's a brand itself, it is a strategy to distinguish or differentiate about the from the competitors. And then we also discussed about challenges thrown up by the digitalization of technology and whatnot, and we also discussed about how banking technology is after the marketing strategy, and therefore definitely I will be very thankful for the resource person and also thank the technical people, those who are involved in the session, and I thank one and all for being with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.